The Uncharted franchise will go down as having some of the best storytelling in games of all time. That's a fact because I just stated it here. Don't be fooled by the title that I gave this show, Best and Worst of, because none of these games are remotely bad. Let's get started on Game Feuds. Now I know what you might be thinking right out of the gate. Why did I see a number 4 sprinkle up? We sprinkled the numbers up, right? There's 5 games, jackass. I'm not going to put the Vita game Golden Abyss on here for 3 reasons. 1, it wasn't done by Naughty Dog. 2, it was on the Vita, so like 5 people care. And 3, I didn't play it, which may be the most important reason. Uncharted 1 was released in a year. I didn't look it up, and I'm not going to now. And was praised for its next level storytelling and amazing action set pieces. It was like playing a movie. A movie that was frustrating to control at times and had an odd final act, but nevertheless, it was fresh and new. The game featured great gameplay mechanics that would of course get fine-tuned over time. The real selling point was the top-tier graphics and the brilliant voice work. Not to mention a story that instantly gels with the player and a cast that you can't help but like. You take control of Nathan Drake, a modern-day Indiana Jones, as you go from vista to vista in search of lost treasure. Fan favorite Sully steals every scene he's in, and the dynamic between the two is a joy to watch. Elena and Drake's chemistry is just as good, with witty banter and awkward sexual tension coming into play. Much like me and the grip operator here on the set. Isn't that right, Alicia? Tension's palpable. Oh, she's leaving? Okay. Not sending you your final check! The game is on the short side, and I wasn't a big fan of the supernatural twist. Still, an amazing experience from beginning to end. Much like our time together, right, Tiffany? She's leaving too. Not even a goodbye. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. I anticipate a string of comments along the lines of this list is invalid, or did I just see he put Uncharted 4 as the second worst? That's the wrong attitude, buddy. Have an open mind and an open heart. None of these games are remotely bad. I played through all of them on PS3 and again remastered. I hold platinums on both versions of the first 3 games. For the first time in an Uncharted game, I had zero incentive to go back and replay again. And that tells me something. It tells me I didn't have as much fun with this one. I feel like Naughty Dog listened to the wrong fans on certain aspects. Mainly the people bitching that Nathan Drake's a cold-blooded killer. Give me a break! It's a video game. Suspend some belief. The game was around 14 hours long, with much of that time dedicated to just wandering, swinging, sliding, and grappling around buildings and islands. I loved my time with the journey, but I'm not compelled to replay it as a gamer. What builds the game up, though, is everything else. The story is phenomenal. The acting has never been better, along with the animations and presentation. The set pieces are in smaller doses, which was a shame for me, especially when they tease a volcano near the middle portion, but we never get there. I imagine Drake having to flee for his life as a volcanic eruption explodes from above, hot lava searing behind him as it pursues our hero. The pirate theme was very cool, and the final moments of the game are honestly touching, especially if you've went on all 4 or 5 adventures with this gang. It was the best ending to a franchise I've ever experienced, the competition not even close.
Not going down there without some hardware.
Much like Smash Bros. Melee and Brawl, there's a heated debate within the community on which Uncharted game's better between 2 and 3. Uncharted 3 is an amazing game. It's a 10 out of 10 for me, just like number 2. The set pieces are at their best here, with a ship escape, a plane crash, horseback riding, and a burning chateau. Sully and Drake are the focus as the story builds on their backstory. We get to see and play as a young Drake. Marlo was great, but an underutilized character. Her goal is a bit muddled, and I personally found the controls a bit off this time. I enjoyed the more fleshed out fist fighting mechanics, but it could get cumbersome during intense firefights. And I really found the character models jarring in this act, especially the females. It was clear based on early screenshots that the models had to be pared back significantly. There's a level of detail missing, and it irks me to no end, but these are small gripes to an otherwise amazing game. Out of every game on this list, I never had a second thought on which one I was going to put at the top spot. Uncharted 2 is the definition of how you do a sequel right. The controls, the storytelling, the big moments all pay off. Yes, it has a terrible final battle, and yes, Sully isn't in it as much as the other games. I'm okay with the latter, as we have a really fun love triangle between Elena, Drake, and Chloe. The banter between them, along with hints of Drake's darker past, keep you engaged. The gameplay is simpler than the further installments, and I found it just right. Stealth takedowns and hand-to-hand animations can be used to a much quicker and more satisfying level. The sheer variety of locations and enemies is the real highlight. I think it's paced so much better than the others, mixing kill rooms, set pieces, and variety. The helicopter sequence that ends with a full building being demolished dared other games to do better. Unfortunately for other video games out there, nobody does it better than Uncharted. Developer Naughty Dog never disappoints. The Uncharted series paved the way for storytelling and next-level environmental gameplay. The graphics and gameplay will certainly age, but great stories, characters, design, music, creativity, and charm will keep the franchise alive until the end of time. Thank you, Naughty Dog, for the memories, and thank you, the viewer, for watching this episode of Game Feuds. Was I too hard on A Thief's End? Should it be higher on the list? Was Greg Miller right all along and Uncharted 3 is the superior game in the franchise? Let me know in the comments. Like, give me your list, and remember to game on.